Is there a piece that you've gotten rid of in like college that you regret getting rid of?
My MF Doom Dunks. That was one of my first Nike SB shoes. The quality on those is amazing too.
Amazing.
And
Yeah,
I just checked like StockX maybe a couple weeks ago, and it was like in the multiple thousands, and I was just like, yeah, I'll never have them again. Yeah. And it's sad to me, but I had them. I had fun wearing them. I wore them a lot. So
what's good, everyone? Welcome back to My First Kicks. This is episode 235, and this week I bring to you a new guest. Another, he gave me the honor of being on my first ever panel. Welcome to the podcast, JD, man.
Hello. Thank you for inviting me. It means a lot.
Nah, come on, man. We rolled together at ComplexCon. Hopefully you pulling up this year?
Thinking about it.
I'll be there.
Maybe.
If you pull up on me, I might have maybe a shirt or two. But huge honor having you on. We talked about this for a hot minute. I thought you didn't want to be on here, man.
I said, let me know when. Just waiting on the invite.
You are a voice. I want to say you are a voice of the building community, and you put a lot forward in terms of just like Streetwear Flea Market. But for people who are not familiar with you, how about you introduce yourself?
My name is James, aka JD, from West Dayton, Ohio. Mm-hmm. Living in Harlem now. Been in New York for about 6 years. I put on an event called the Streetwear Flea. I'm a photographer. Mm-hmm. Do a lot of marketing. Do some sales. I like to create. And yeah, that's me. Just of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're multifaceted for sure, but you super duper plugged in and
I like to be outside, get around, touch the community, touch the streets.
Yeah. So, but I definitely want to touch on your time in Ohio, but we're going to start off with the first question I ask everybody each week. And that question is, what's your first kicks? What's that first pair of sneakers you absolutely needed to have?
It's so hard to even remember my first kicks. Mm-hmm. I've been like fascinated by footwear since before I could like even spell the shoes that I was fascinated with. Mm-hmm. But one of the earliest memories of a shoe that like I felt like I needed was the original Foamposite.
Oh yeah.
I didn't have it when it released in '97. My foot wasn't big enough, but I remember seeing those at, I think it was Foot Locker at the Salem Mall in Dayton, Ohio, RIP Salem Mall. But I remember seeing that shoe and I thought it was amazing. The design was, futuristic. It still looks futuristic today. And it was so cool. And, at that time I was a young child. Like it had nothing to do with the marketing or any cultural associations. It was literally just the design itself.
Yeah.
Was extremely intriguing.
That Foamposite, I don't know. I've always had big feet. I think, when did I become a 13? Maybe like 8th grade or something like that. I know I tried on a pair of eggplants. I told the story on here before. Tried a pair of eggplants. I looked down. It looked literally like I had an eggplant on my foot. And I was like, never again. So I did.
It's a good color.
Yeah, it is. But it's like that shoe is it's bulbous. It's like big.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Kind of love it or hate it. I feel like, amongst the sneaker community, most people kind of accept it as being a good shoe, but outside of sneaker world, it's kind of a love or hate thing.
Yeah. I don't know if it's just like, because Penny wore it, obviously it's a shoe. And so like in terms of just like performance wise, like I never seen anybody be like, yo, you got to get the foams because, I'm going to jump higher on this.
I've hooped in Foamposites before. They are on the heavy side, but they do give you that good lockdown feel, and the carbon fiber spring plate is nice. It like kind of propels you forward. So it's a little stiff, but if you're like a explosive player or you like to have that extra bounce, I think they're good.
Interesting. I might hoop in my Tekken foams then.
Go ahead.
Right.
I don't know if they had the same technological details in 2025, but I say go for it.
This is true. A lot of people don't understand that. Like the way that the tech moves and changes over the years.
You know, they always say they use the original mold and et cetera, but it just never feels quite the same, especially when you have some OG pairs. Like it's not, it can't be the same.
No,
they feel different. You can feel the cushioning in a different way. But yeah,
you know, cost cutting. You gotta
it's
figure out
the game.
Yeah, you gotta figure out where you can cut here and there and see if we
low
can make it
cost, higher retail, better margin. People buying it.
Yeah, you got to hit those numbers, quotas, baby. But what was like? Because I mean, I think you are definitely one of the flyest guys I know, right?
Thank you, man.
You know, I think fashion is definitely what you represent. Fun. You know, like
getting dressed is fun. For sure.
So what was that? Where did that come from? Because I know Dayton, Ohio is not like.
You might have to do your research.
Yeah,
you might have to do your research.
No, this is where I'm here to learn.
I always say. I mean, the Wright brothers, they have nothing to do with fashion, but they invented the airplane.
Yeah.
So I feel like undoubtedly Dayton, Ohio is the flyest place in the world.
Look at that.
Because we invented flying. But on a style tip, we have a rich like musical and cultural history. So style and just style in general is it's always been present in Dayton and other cities in Ohio. And you know, certain industries kind of died and less money was flowing through a lot of our major cities. So we kind of took the back seat in the Midwest. But anybody that's been in the Midwest for a while, that was around when, you know, American factories were a thing, like Dayton was popping. So, but to answer your question, my style, probably a lot of inspiration would come from my mother. She's a very stylish woman. She's always been like that, colorful clothing, unique pieces. So that was kind of, you know, subconsciously probably my inspiration.
Where did that, like, did that run in your family, or was she like the one that stepped out of that? And where's your family from originally?
My dad's side of the family is from North Carolina. My mom's side is from Indiana. So grandparents were never really that close. I mean, I was close with them, but, you know, they lived far away. So I wasn't with them on a daily. But, I mean, you know, there's stylish people in the family. But I would say mom, and then, you know, neighborhood and any other pop cultural influences that were, you know, popular at the time coming up.
Yeah. Like, were you the flyest in high school, or like when did that start? When did you start being like, yo, I'm gonna dress for myself? Like,
I'd say I was definitely one of them. We had uniforms in high school, but you know, within uniforms, you can still kind of get fits off depending on the brand you were. I wore Dickies.
Hey,
and, you know, I had some good Dickies on. Kept them crisp. You know, keep the crease down the middle. I'll say it was a few of us, you know. Shout out to Marky D. That was one of them. My boy Vite. It was a few of us, but I at least top 5.
How'd you find each other?
I mean, I always been one of those people that kind of know everybody. At least everybody skill within my area. Yeah. You know, it's like in the neighborhood or at school. Like to meet people. Yeah.
That I do think, because I definitely want to expand on that, because like that is something I also like I had to like learn, you know, because it's interesting when you're trying to like be a kid and like, you know, you're trying to be like not alone. So it's just like some people try too hard. Some people try to like, you know, like either overcompensate or like they kind of stick to themselves. So it's like, especially like now with the internet and stuff like that, I definitely feel like that's a little bit harder to make that like that outside friend. So like, how did you find that within yourself? Because I know you said it's just
I am more on the reserve side. So although I like to meet people and I like to be connected with any community that I'm near, I guess my way is a little bit more, I'm not going to say peculiar, but that's kind of the word that comes to mind. It's just, I'm not always like an introduce myself first type person, but I think I I make myself approachable enough to where I get connected with people, or I guess when people are, close enough proximity and we do say hi, maybe I let it be more than a hi and bye.
Mm-hmm.
I might ask a little bit about them or how they're feeling or comment on what they're wearing, but, kind of spark conversation. But really I think just authentic interaction. So maybe we might not even speak, but, you see the same person a few times and you acknowledge them. So that could be it. There's people in my neighborhood, I couldn't tell you their name to save my life, but when I walk by them, we communicate non-verbally. So same thing at school. I might, I'm not hanging out with everybody, but I acknowledge everybody.
Yeah. That it's funny you said that. I was just thinking about this thought in my building this morning because there's this old guy. Shout out to the homie in my building because this is what you just I was just saying. I don't know his name, right? But I've literally been talking to him for like 5 years, right? And I used to I would go to the gym and he'd come up to me and be like, "Yo, man, you keep doing your thing," and I'll be like, "Yeah, man." I saw him in the building this morning.
Yeah, it's a connection.
Yeah, he was just like, "Yo, man, how's it going?" Check in. But I'm always like, I forgot to ask this guy's name.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, sometimes it's important, but depends on who it is. Like for me, it's not important for somebody to know my name. It's like if they know who I am and I feel like they have a respect for me, that's enough.
Yeah. I mean, that's interesting. Some people are just very like, you need to know me.
Yeah, some people very much. Everybody's different. So I guess, knowing who you're communicating with is always important, but names. And then it's like once you meet so many people, it's hard to remember names.
Yeah, for sure.
It's extremely hard. Yeah. So nowadays I gotta meet people at least 4 or 5 times before I remember their name.
Nah, yeah. I remember do you remember when the first time I met you?
The first time?
Yeah.
No clue.
It was Streetwear Flea in the Brooklyn. And I was like, Jam was like, "Yo, you got to be my mans." And this is before, like, I hit you on LinkedIn. I was just like, "Yo, let's have you on the podcast." Yeah. And I was like, when I was like, "Jam, I want to meet JD because this is dope. Like, I want to get to know him." And then he was just like, "All right, come on, let's go." In the middle, like, and this is when it was packed too. He just pushed through everybody. Yeah. It's like, "Yo, this is JD." And you were just like, "What's up, man?" And you were just mad reserved. Yeah. You were mad reserved. And I was just like, "All right, cool." Like, and then, over time, I feel like, we got really cool with each other. But like, I remember that first time and me being like, "Man, did I mess up or something?"
Yeah. Nah, I mean, I see everything that, like, any messages on either Instagram or LinkedIn, even Twitter. Like, I read every message. I pretty much get back to everybody. I don't always remember, especially like I've been meeting some people in person that like have sent me messages on LinkedIn, and that's kind of a harder connection to make than, meeting somebody on Instagram. But either way, it's like anytime somebody takes the time to like reach out or speak to me, I, try and take the same amount of time to digest what they're saying and consider it or, respond.
Yeah. I mean, I try to do the same thing as well. We are nothing without the people that, that reach out to us too. So especially if you're trying to like build something too, especially if you're trying to build community too.
For sure. And just, knowing what it's like on the other side when you're reaching out to someone or when you have a question or you want anything, it doesn't take much to respond. Yeah. Like, even if that's a no, like, I don't mind if you ask someone something and they're like, "Oh, I can't do it." It's like, all right, appreciate you getting back to me. Versus, "Oh, I sent 5 messages in 2 years and they don't say anything when they actually see it." Like, I don't know, that's weird to me.
I mean, I do they call me the king of follow-ups. I always follow up, but like, I don't do it in a harassing way. Yeah. I'll take the time, and some people take it as just like, "Oh, they didn't get back to me, so all right, fuck them." But it's just kind of like sometimes people miss it. Sometimes people are just like not in the mood, and you kind of just gotta like catch them at the right time. I do think it's a little bit of luck as well.
Yeah, I feel like 2 follow-ups or 2 messages, like that's calm. 3, if somebody isn't responding after 3, it's kind of like, after 3, I get a sense of like, oh, okay, they kind of disrespected me a little bit. But people are busy. People don't see everything.
Yeah.
So that's why I feel like it's not bad to reach out 2 or 3 times. 4 or 5, it's like, all right, now I'm begging. And that's enough.
No, hell no. Definitely don't. If I'm getting up to 4 or 5, then no. I always tell myself 3
That's what I'm
is the
saying.
max.
3 is like,
yeah.
I tried.
Yeah.
Yo, jumping in real quick to say thank you for listening to this week's episode with JD, and wanted to let you know and remind y'all, because this goes a long way, hit that like button if you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, especially if you're on YouTube or Apple or Spotify, wherever you're listening to your podcast, and leave a comment. Definitely leave a comment on Spotify. Definitely leave a comment on YouTube. It goes a long way. It helps the podcast go extremely far and reach the masses. So I need y'all help. This is a community. We're trying to build this up, right? And if you're interested, I also have a Patreon, which helps the podcast tremendously as well. Patreon.com/myfirstkicks. I got 2 tiers. You get a shout out with the $3 tier, and you get a shout out and all the content that I put out specifically for Patreon, like my trip to Portland, will be on the Patreon in a couple weeks. You got to go to the Patreon to see that. But let's go back to the episode.
It's not gonna happen.
Yeah,
maybe
I put my hand out.
Yeah.
You didn't reach out. All right.
Yeah. I definitely want to know how, because streetwear. How big is streetwear in Ohio? Because I always feel like streetwear is New York, New York, LA. So,
I think right now it's pretty big.
Yeah, I mean,
right
shout
now,
out Unheard Of, and
growing up, it was a thing, but more like niche, whereas the thing about New York is just kind of larger than life, where you could have like 5 streetwear events popping at once in New York with a couple hundred people at each one. Whereas in Ohio, you might have 1. It's like if 2 people try to throw the same type event and pull from the same community, one of them is going to be a dud.
Yeah.
Like one of them won't do well. And that's the biggest difference, I feel like, with being in New York, being creative, or, being in fashion and things like that. It's like these people and, these industries exist elsewhere, but just not as large.
Yeah.
So, I always had me and my homies and extensions of our homies that were into sneakers and streetwear. And definitely, I feel like me and my homies and some of the people that I looked up to growing up, they go toe to toe with anybody, anywhere. Like as far as what they have, what they know, and just caring about the culture.
Yeah. At what point did you find the culture? Or did the culture find you?
I would say like coming out of high school, definitely college, maybe high school, just because, in the mall, we had a skate shop called Flamingos. That was it was really popular. So, being exposed to Flamingos in a skate shop and Nike SB, and kind of a lot of streetwear origins kind of come from skating.
Yeah.
So I would say leaving high school and college, and that's also when, you start to make your own money a little bit. So you start doing some more shopping, and that's kind of what started it, I feel like. Yeah.
What was your first job?
First job was at a grocery store, Dorothy Lane Market. Yeah, at a grocery store. I was, guess I was cashier, and what else do we do? Oh yeah, bagging.
I was just gonna say bagging.
Yeah.
Were you there with SBs on? Were you was there? Well, that was like early.
It's kind of a blur.
Yeah.
I remember some things, like I remember certain people, but like the day to day is kind of a blur. But yeah, it was calm. It was a calm job, easy. Still kind of tiring at times when it got busy, but very easy.
I want to ask if you have like a crazy story from like your retail days, I guess.
I don't. It's a blur. My memory, that's what I take so many photos.
Yeah.
It's like without photos, it's hard for me to remember a lot of what I've been through to be honest.
Yeah. I'm definitely the opposite, because I'm like, I like to experience it.
Yeah.
I think I like to rely on my memory a lot. And so I miss out on the photos. Like, I don't go back. But yes, but I also think like there's something needs to, in order for me to spark up that memory again, something needs to trigger it.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, yo, I remember that one time. But I do want to get to that, like, I remember that one time. Maybe the photos will help me. But I don't know. I think if I pull out my phone in the moment, I'm like, nah, I'm losing the moment.
Yeah. I just remember the homies and like, people that I enjoyed seeing at work.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Nah, it's all good. I definitely want to talk about what inspired you to start, Streetwear Flea Market. And then, like, especially like that first couple times doing it. Like, what was that like?
What really inspired it the very first time was, I used to put on closet sales, like just my own pieces, because I've always since college, like I've always had a lot of shoes and clothing, and every now and then, I would sell on eBay or I would sell in person, and I would do these big closet sales and like promote a date, have people pull up, not like at home, but I would have a space or like rent a venue and have people pull up and shop from like my closet. And
that's crazy.
I was talking to a friend, I think it was actually Maddie, my friend Maddie, shout out to Maddie. We were talking about having a closet sale, and he was saying he needed to do the same thing. And I'm like, I know at least 6 to 7 people that need to do the same thing. So I was like, we should kind of do this together. In my head, I'm like, I should plan something to where all of us can do this together. So that was kind of the start of the idea. And then it was also like, I wanted to invite brands and certain people within the community that, were influential and just in the streetwear community.
Yeah.
So, the very first event, it was a lot of individuals selling their own pieces, footwear and apparel, and then a few like sneaker resellers and a few people that had their own brand.
Yeah.
But I would say probably at least half was all like collectors that were just needing to offload pieces. And at that time, there wasn't any other event like that at all, not where I was at least. And the only other thing that was similar would be like a sneaker show.
Yeah.
And the sneaker shows to me had gotten pretty boring because at that time, like a lot of people were displaying shoes but not selling them.
Yeah.
And I felt like to me, it was boring. It's like I see my grail or I see like a shoe that I want and it's not for sale. You're just displaying it.
Yeah.
It was, they basically call them sneaker exhibitions.
Right, yeah.
So after you go to a few of those, it's kind of like, why keep going? Like I've seen all the shoes.
Yeah, same.
So then the Streetwear Flea, for me, it felt like it was different. There wasn't anything else like it going on. And yeah, it was a pretty big hit.
How did you amass all that stuff? Like, because I don't know anything about closet sales. I've only been to one, and that was at Extra Butter. Shout out Extra Butter. Yeah. But like, I didn't know that existed. I didn't know you can be like, yo, I'm trying to offload a ton of stuff. Yeah. Pull up, So like, were you just copping and then you were just like, yo, what is that?
I guess, people say they have obsessive personalities.
Yeah.
I guess I'm one of those people because like when I really lock into something, I go hard.
Yeah.
And so I buy a lot. If somebody else has something and then they don't value it that much, I'm like, let me hold that. I got 50, I got 40 for you.
Yeah.
And, just being around and going after what you want, it just happens. Some things, some things get given, some things get bought, some things get traded for. And, as most sneakerheads or like anybody that's really into it, it's like you find a way to get what you want.
Yes, by any means necessary.
And then, over time, it just adds up. I always worked in like footwear retail. So like Foot Locker, Foot Action. I worked at Foot Action / Foot Locker right after high school. So pretty much through my whole time when I was in college. And then also in college, I was working at a boutique called Soul Classics,
Oh, nice.
which is still there
Mm-hmm.
in Columbus, Ohio. So yeah, just being in that environment, just accumulating.
Is there a piece that you've gotten rid of in like college that you regret getting rid of?
My MF Doom Dunks.
Oh,
That was one of my first Nike SB shoes. The quality on those is amazing too.
amazing.
And
Yeah,
I
that
really,
ostrich
I
print.
just checked like StockX maybe a couple weeks ago, and it was like in the multiple thousands, and I was just like, yeah, I'll never have them again.
Yeah.
And it's sad to me, but I had them. I had fun wearing them. I wore them a lot, so it is what it is.
I mean, it's crazy. Those are my grails, but it's like you know how you have like S tier, the tier that it's like the tier above where I'm just like, it don't count that's the one right there. But yeah, there was only one pair I got. This is one of my biggest regrets, was just like, and I wish that like I can go back in time with the money I have now to go get it.
Right.
Cause I remember on the forums, $250, and I was like, damn. And I was like, that's too much. And then now I'm like, yo, $250 is retail now.
Right. That's when What the Dunk came out. I think, I don't know if it's true or not, but back then it was rumored that there were like 300 of them. And I could have gotten them I wasn't plugged in to get them when they first released, but the resale at the time was like 500, 600. And at that time, I didn't have it. But now it's like, I wish it was 600. They weren't like, I don't know, 20, 30,000, which is crazy. So it's like, that's another shoe that I really loved, but I missed my opportunity to get them.
So you a SB head.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cause I know you're rocking Sunders right now, which you sold me on them.
Shout out to
these are fire.
Kicking It. Yeah, this colorway was crazy to me. And that's the kind of random, but that's the kind of collector or sneaker guy I am. Like, I don't care if it's a GR. You know, it's like everything was a GR at one point.
Yeah, for sure.
Everything that's highly sought after was on the shelf at one point. So I don't need everything to be like super popular or instant sellout. Like in 3 or 5 years when nobody can find these, I'll have them and I'll be happy.
Yeah, exactly. I still want those Arctics. If you've seen a pair of Arctics, I don't think they come in a 13. But how did like sneaker culture, you know, embracing that part of it, of like, well, changing it, like what made you want to be like, yo, I'm gonna be different. I'm a like betting on yourself. Like what motivates you to bet on yourself in that instance?
That's always been my thing. I can't quite pinpoint what it is, but like I said, even going back to high school, I didn't want my uniform to look exactly like everybody else's. Like I wanted mine to be a little bit different, whether that's the shoes or how I tuck my shirt in, or if I don't tuck it in, or what shade of blue I buy. Like I always wanted, you know, my fit to be a little bit different. And, you know, nowadays, same thing. Like when I'm going to an event, I don't want anybody to have the same thing I have on.
Yeah.
It's certain shoes that, you know, you like so much that it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like say the Kids Are Immigrants Sunder. It's like, that shoe's kind of undeniable. Everybody has it and I don't mind. But still at the same time, if I'm going to an event and I feel like somebody else might have them on, I won't wear them.
Yeah.
Just like, you know, these, I'm like, GR, but I never seen anybody else with them.
Nah, definitely not.
It's fun. Like I like wearing everything and I like to express myself, and not that, you know, sometimes you can express yourself truly and somebody else expressing themselves truly aligns with how you express yourself. But I like to feel like I'm different or unique. So if somebody else has the exact same thing on, I'm like, man, maybe I'm not that different. I'm not as unique as I think I am. But more often than not, that doesn't happen. So
no, yeah, that I remember there was one time me and my best friend, we pulled up with the Melvins on. And I was like, I'm about to go home and change.
You probably didn't expect that.
No, I didn't. But it's just like now we live in this world where everybody's literally like rocking the same, like Undefeated Force drop, right?
Right.
I'm like, in my head, I'm like, this is coming out. I'm rocking them next year. Like that's what I've always been on. Like, it's cool. Everybody's rocking. Like, if you like pulling up to something and everybody else is rocking it, like, cool. Like, that's you. But for me, it makes me feel like, I don't know. What's that scene where it's just like, in like, where you're just Spider-Man, like a cog in a machine type of thing.
Yeah, right. Yeah, shoe like that. I like to wear my shoes right away, but it would just be, casual. Like, I would wear those walking down the block to go to the deli or to the grocery store. Like,
just get steps in.
Yeah, just for fun. I wouldn't like try and get a fit off with those.
Yeah.
Not right now. I either, like super popular shoes, I either, try to wear them a little bit early or wear them years down the line when people forget.
Yeah. So you said biggest regret, your sneaker regret. I want to know biggest clothing regret that you got. Is there like yo, this old vintage Burberry sitting in the trunk or something like that?
That's tough. I kind of hunted down a lot of like clothing pieces that I really wanted. Like I have some of my favorite Nike jackets ever.
Yeah.
Like the Par varsity jacket from like the mid 2000s. And I have this Nike ACG K2 jacket from like 2011 maybe. Also Nike, they did like Athletics Far East in the mid 2000s. I have like, not the whole collection, but most of the pieces from that collection that I liked. So like clothing is a little easier in my opinion because less people know about it. Yeah. So like the resale value is not very high. It's hard to find, but when you find it, it might be anywhere from 100 to 300 being a high. And if you're patient enough and you search enough, like I said, I'm kind of obsessive. So it's like every month or every few weeks or as much as I think about something, I'll just search it. And usually it's not there, but that one day it'll be there.
Yeah.
And I'll be ready.
I love that. That's the old eBay mentality that I used to have where
it'll pop SBs, up eventually.
Not with SBs, man. They're all cooked, I think.
A lot of them, like I used to have the Gibson Dunk.
Yeah.
Most of the time when those pop up, they're beat.
Yeah.
Which I won't do. And then like every now and then the new pair will pop up, 4 or 5. I wouldn't really do it. If I see it like 350, maybe.
There you go. Little 350. I'm curious of just like what was the move? Why come to New York?
Just more creative opportunity. I feel like I got to a point in Columbus where I like exhausted as much of my energy as I wanted to doing creative things and, from Streetwear Flea to hosting events to photography to managing Soul Classics. And
damn, you was managing?
Kind of wanted a little bit more. Yeah. Several years.
That's fire.
Yeah. Those my folks. I just kind of wanted a little bit more.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a situation where I felt like anything that was cool going on, it kind of involved like me or my friends. And it's fun, but you don't always want to be the one that has to like put something on or like do something. Sometimes you want to go support other people that are doing something cool and interesting. So like I said, the community is just a little bit smaller. Whereas in New York, it's so many people and so many groups that are doing really cool, fun, interesting things that like you can't do it all.
Yeah.
And that was kind of interesting. That was intriguing to me. And then of course, just it was an alignment. A friend of mine had posted that they had an apartment that was open. My lease was going up at the time. A relationship had ended. So it was kind of like, it just aligned for me to try it out. I didn't really expect that I would be here as long as I've been here, but it made sense for me to try it.
Were you visiting before that? Like, did that?
Not super often, but I have been in New York several times, like through managing Soul Classics and just being in the scene, like been to several events out here, like Agenda and Project and Vans headquarter
Mm-hmm.
is in New York. Well, New York and like I think Costa Mesa,
Mm-hmm.
West Coast.
Yeah.
So different like meetings, whether that be a Nike meeting or Vans meeting, and just had reasons to visit New York.
Mm-hmm. I'm now we talked about managing the store. I need to know, like, what was that like? Like, what were some of your experiences doing that?
That was cool. That was perfect for me because when you manage a smaller boutique or a lifestyle boutique, especially at that time, or a mom and pop shop, if you will,
Mm-hmm.
you kind of have to do everything, and some people don't like that. But me being a person that has different skill sets and different interests, I never minded it.
Mm-hmm.
So from doing visual merchandising to running the Instagram to doing the photography to putting on events to literally managing the store and making sure releases go smoothly, coming up with ideas for trade shows or what brands we should bring in. Like wearing all those different hats for me was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So I just remember having the freedom, and that was always nice.
Were you throwing on events like to build community around the store too?
Yeah, definitely. Like we used to have social events, and we've done events with brands, plus Streetwear Flea.
Yeah, you did it there too?
Not like at the store, but during that time period. Like while I was managing the store.
Yeah, because I was wondering, like, are you doing, so then you do like the store events and then you'd be like, all right, now I still got my
Yeah, during, like while I worked at Soul Classics, probably from 2010 until 2018, 2017, I had photography exhibitions.
Damn.
I had community forums, had parties, just like, completely separate from the store, just on the side. So,
damn, man, you doing everything.
Do as much as I can.
Yo, that's crazy, dude.
Or it's like I do as much as I can, but as much as like I do everything that I want as much as I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know, how do you get the inspiration? Because I feel like is that just being a creative and just scratching that itch, or is it like how do you get to the point where like, yeah, I'm gonna actually execute this thing? Because a lot of people come up with ideas, but then a lot of people stop themselves from actually executing. So how do you propel yourself forward?
I mean, the best feeling comes from when you actually execute the idea. It's like, it feels good to come up with the idea, like that excitement feels great and that spark happens, but the best feeling is when you actually execute it. It's kind of like sports. It's like hitting a shot at practice is cool. Like that feels good.
Yeah.
But hitting a shot during the game, that's like the epitome, or, winning a championship. So that's kind of how I feel about any idea that I have. It's like I might come up with an idea while I'm out walking, and like I'll get excited and I'll feel good. But then I know that's not like the what is it? What's the top? That's just not the highest of that excitement. Like it gets better. And
the top of the dopamine rush or something was,
I guess like is it what, zenith, or like the the peak?
The peak,
like,
yeah, the climax, or the,
yeah, all of that. It's like I know there's more to it, and that comes when everything comes together.
But how are you so fearless? Because I feel like,
well, I will say, as much that I do, there's like 20 ideas and 20 projects that are incomplete. Like I have a lot of different ideas that I haven't gotten to yet, or some that I've started and kind of are dormant right now. That happens too. And that bothers me. That's the downside. I have a lot of things that I want to finish that I'm just too busy doing other things to finish them. And that kind of weighs on me. So that's the downside. It's like I feel bad for like not finishing certain things that I started. But what was the question?
How are you fearless? How did you become fearless?
Right. Honestly, I feel like believe in the idea. Like I think I have good ideas, and because the idea is good, I feel like what is there to be afraid of? It's like in my head when I plan something and I write it down and I put all the pieces together, like I don't see how it could fail. And sometimes when things don't go as planned, I'm almost like surprised.
Yeah.
Or, I sit back and like, okay, why were there only 50 people there? Like what happened? What was going on? Was it the promotion? Were there other things going on in the city? Or was there, just miscommunication? Or like, I'm trying to figure out why it didn't go exactly how I thought it would in my head. But usually just, kind of playing quarterback. I did play quarterback in high school, varsity. What? But that's another story.
No. But, you can't. We got to have to come back to that.
So literally like quarterback, being a chef, just putting things together. It's like, if you're a chef, you put all the, no, I'm just using it as a metaphor, but it's like when you put all the ingredients together, you're like, this is going to taste good.
Right. Yeah.
So if for some reason it didn't taste good, you would be like, wait a minute. All right, where did I go wrong? So that's kind of how it is with like events or ideas or anything that I create.
So let's fast forward to like right now where, you did 2 successful events. You did the Ohio Streetwear Flea, you did the New York Streetwear Flea. That is a lot of stress, right? So how did you manage that? And then
very stressful. The first New York event was that's one of the hardest things I ever done. That was probably the largest event I've done, pretty much like by myself.
Yeah. You did it by yourself?
Mostly.
That's crazy, dude.
I'm not gonna say 100%, but maybe like 95.
Yeah.
But I have a co-founder that he helps out as much as he can, but he owns Soul Classics. He has 4 kids. At the time, he was coaching football.
Damn.
He's busy with his own life too. But so just like communicating with the venue, communicating with all the vendors, all the DJs, all the hosts, all the logistics, sound, tables, chairs, blah, blah, blah. It's like, it is stressful, especially like money's involved and people have to get paid. Yeah. So it's like, that's probably the most stressful part. I value people's time and effort. So, if we discuss a number or discuss some type of payment, I want to make sure I can deliver on that. And the New York event was very expensive. So it's like, it was the most pressure that I had on me and like the most tasks.
Yeah.
So it was a lot, but I just kind of grew up in an environment where like excuses weren't really valid or tolerated. So anytime I feel like I'm overwhelmed or can't do something, it's like I'm reminded like you can and you will, and there's no excuse. It's like get it done and just, locking in. When you asked me to be part of the panel, right? I think I was most in awe of just like how you build community, right? And even with like the conversation about like what we were speaking about in the panel about, we also spoke on community and like the influence, the power of influence. Right.
But I'm curious about just like you've been part of 2 separate communities, but you were able to hone both the New York community and the Ohio community, right? And leverage yourself as this person that's putting this community together. So what is it about community that keeps you going?
I mean, I love people. I care about people and I want to see people do well. So I like to have fun. And it's like, for me, fun involves like other people. Like sometimes I have fun alone, but it's more fun when other people are involved.
Yeah.
So trying to bring people together and feeding off of each other's energy, it's important to me and it's something that I enjoy. Yeah. So it's the same thing here as it was in Ohio or anywhere I will be. It is different in New York. People they often ask me like, what's the difference between the events in Ohio and the events in New York? And I would say like, in New York, there is so many people, like there's so much opportunity here and people are after that opportunity. So it's kind of like it's more opportunists here. Whereas in Ohio, it's more for the culture.
Yeah.
Like it's not necessarily to make it big. A lot of people do have aspirations to make it big or to, meet somebody that's going to help them advance. But for a lot of people, that's not even necessarily on their mind. They're just doing it because they like it.
Yeah.
And, they like to create. They like to get dressed. They like sneakers. And that's kind of how they move. Whereas New York, it's more so everybody has like big aspirations and it's a lot of influencers, a lot of really cool people, and they want to be treated as such.
Yeah.
They don't want to just pull up and support the community or be a part of the community. They want like eyes and attention too.
That's
so
interesting.
It's tricky.
Cause like, let's talk about that because yes, that was the topic of the panel, right? And so what is your overall thoughts on that? Do you think, we're going towards more of that? Or do we think, we're actually a lot of the people that are having voices or prominent voices or even a little bit of a voice are pushing, something else instead of like, oh, I'm the influencer, I'm the person that should be getting the product. Like, what do you think you're seeing more of now?
I think it's going more towards influencer culture for now. At least it will get to a point to where like a breaking point or the balloon burst. But for now,
bubble burst,
the way people are getting paid on Instagram and TikTok and the way the algorithm is set up, it just encourages people to promote themselves more, which obviously there's a lot of benefits to that.
Yeah.
From a cultural standpoint and from a human standpoint, not so much.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I feel like a lot of folks that attend events here are doing so to create content just as much as they are, if not more, than they are going because they like what's going on or because they support what's going on or because they're just a fan of what's going on. It's like, I'm going here because I feel like it's important to be here and I want to record this moment and share it with my followers. Not, I'm going here because I like this artist and I want to support them.
Yeah.
It's a bit of both too, but that's very prevalent, especially in, the more like branded events or branded activations. It's more so about being there than supporting what's going on.
Yeah. I've been to both sides and I have seen the differences, right? Of people that are just like, wow, I'm happy to be here and versus, wow, I should be here. I do think social media created a lot of this like entitlement that I don't really understand.
Yeah.
As a person that just kind of really just wants to talk to people and connect with people. But like when it comes to branded events, it's so like, oh yeah, certain amount of followers get you in the door. You get in the door. The payment is the give and take or the bargain is I promote your stuff because you invited me.
Right.
And then that cycle, because you see it breeds success.
Very transactional.
And it's like forward and forward and forward. And then, you mentioned the algorithm, and I've been saying this a lot. Like it's really hard to break the algorithm, and what you're trying to do is always break it, because when you become the algorithm, then that's when you see the most success.
Right.
So it's like, but if you're just going to events making the same, hey, welcome to the day in the life of a 23-year-old, blah blah blah, and then you go, I go to the Nike event, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
It's playing into the algorithm. So how do you make something different that's gonna break it? And it's just like, that study.
Yeah, it's playing into it, but a lot of that stuff is like becoming noise, like white noise, and I don't think it's as impactful as it once was a few years ago. So like it works. It's it's getting the views, it's getting the likes, but views and likes and impact aren't the same either. So
what do you think, or what is your definition of impact? What do you see as impact?
Well, there's not one type of impact. So it's like,
yeah, but yours.
Right. Even for me, it's like a large impact might be 1 million views, or it might be something that goes viral, but it could be something that has 40 or 50 likes, but it means a lot to 20 people. Like, it's something that 20 people will never forget, versus maybe 500 people see it, but they forget about it next week. Like, it's different. And it's certain things that, like, I've done like community forums for a long time. So I've had, it was an event called Culture Talk. It's still a thing. I haven't done it in years, but
bring it back.
It's still a thing.
Bring it back.
Say with like Culture Talk, there's been events where it might have been 30 people there. At this time, Instagram isn't as popular. Posts may get 20, 50, maybe 60 likes.
Yeah.
But it's like the impact on the people that were there is way greater than anything that like can be seen on social media. Like, there are relationships that have been built at the event and through the conversations that like change the trajectory of people's lives, and create relationships. So it's just like, that's the type of impact that I care about a lot more than just what we see online.
Yeah.
Like, back to the influencer thing and people just kind of being opportunists. Like, I know some folks that it's kind of like they won't go to an event if they're not invited. And for me, it's like, what if, like, are you not interested, like, on your own? Like, for me, if I find something interesting and I'm available and I have the energy, like, I'll go.
I'll definitely go.
Period. Like, I want to be there. I like what's going on. I want to be there. Like, I want to be a part of it. It's not about getting a goodie bag or being invited or anything like advantageous to me in that way.
Right. Yeah.
To me, the benefit is
the experience.
Yeah, the experience, the community, and being a part of that moment.
Yeah, I do think we definitely are missing that in people themselves because of just like the way we look at things. And so I'm hoping that, I don't know. I do feel like you give and take with FOMO, right? Like, if you post that you're having, like, yo, I made these connections, I'm having a good time, I got to experience this. You are getting people to be curious of being like, yo, I should pull up to the next one.
Right.
And I do think that, like, that's what I loved about when people would go on social media and show, like, yo, we did the sneaker ball in in Ohio. We did the sneaker ball out there. You got to pull up next year. Like, I like that because it's more like, yo, that's something I'm missing that I would love to be at. But I think people have figured out a way to capitalize on that. And so it's turned into like, if I post that, something similar to that, I got to experience it. Oh, you're just mixy. You're just outside. And I'm just like, no, man, I just kind of wanted to go to something.
Right. Everything kind of bleeds into each other. It's like, that's what makes it tricky because, I'm not saying like, don't go post pictures from events. Like, anybody that knows me knows I'll post 1,000. Like, I got 9,000 pictures on Instagram. Like, that's what I do. But you can tell when it's like more genuine versus when it's like say if you get seeded a shoe, people get seeded shoes and products all the time. So it's like, and they post about it. It's like, are you more excited that you were given a gift or are you promoting the product? Usually nowadays it's more so, thank you for giving this to me, not, oh, look at this nice product and explaining the product. It's just, thank you for giving it to me. And it's like, it's boring.
Thanks for shouting me out like that. That's what I do. I say thank you.
I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with saying it bleeds into each other. I say Well, nowadays I don't really say thank you unless I try and deliver on what needs to be delivered.
Yeah.
Usually if something is being seeded, it's because, they want you to help push a product.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't always want somebody to know whether I got something for free or whether it was seeded or whether it was seeded or whether I bought it. So I'll just post the product
Valid.
and maybe give my opinion on it or say I like it, say it's fire or whatever. And then from there, it's like, as the viewer, it's about what I'm posting and not whether I got it for free or not.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I said, when it's just about getting something for free, is boring to me.
Yeah. You're giving me an existential crisis over here.
No,
I will rethink my strategy at the next pair. All right. Sorry. But we're towards down the end of the podcast. I did have another question. I don't know if I could squeeze it in. Maybe I could squeeze it in. I'm gonna squeeze it in right here. Sorry, Maxim. Hopefully it's not a long answer. But do you believe, because I've seen a lot of conversations about this on Twitter, but do you, as a person who gets fly and a person who knows fashion, do you believe sneakerheads can't dress?
Generally speaking, most like sneaker guys,
Mm-hmm.
I would say not really.
Okay. Fair.
It's not, obviously it's not, I'm not saying they're not capable of it, but I think the focus is so much on sneakers that they're not able to because they're, just preoccupied on the sneaker.
Mm-hmm.
And, to be good at dressing or to be knowledgeable about style and fashion, you got to kind of take some of that energy away from sneakers, and some folks don't. But it's interesting because style is in like visual art is something that I feel like is in people or it's not. Same way, people say like you can't buy style, you can buy fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's true. You can't really like teach someone how to be creative. Like you can teach people how to copy or follow a blueprint, but to have that creative eye or to have that stylish eye and vision, I think it's something that's kind of natural.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or, I mean, I do also think it's just like, it comes from community too. Because like if the community around you is getting fly, you get inspired to be like, hi, yo, I got to try something different. And then you try to earn that.
It's something that's learned.
Props.
Yeah. It's like the style is something that maybe you have, but there's so much knowledge that it is involved with style. Mm-hmm. It's like the way I was dressing when I was in high school to now, it's night and day. Like I didn't know much at all compared to what I know now in high school. So coming from a place of like silo knowledge, just being on sneakers, and then you kind of graduate from that to like, okay, these pants look better with my sneakers.
Yeah.
Okay, this shirt looks better with my pants and with my sneakers. Mm-hmm. Okay, this hat looks better with my shirt. That looks better with the pants with this sneaker. Or this hat, it matches my pants and my shirt, but not the sneaker. So it's like, it's so many layers that come with time and like knowledge and trial and error.
Mm-hmm. Absolute facts. Let me hit you with the last question so we get up out of here. So it deals with a little visualization. I want you to think back to young JD. He's about to open that box of Foamposites. Right now, you're older you behind your younger self. What would you tell your younger self as he opens that box?
I would just say have fun. Like you have what you want now. Mm-hmm. Enjoy it. Have fun, and don't let this be the end all be all. Mm-hmm. There's more to life, and whether you have this shoe or not, life is okay, and life will be okay, and life will be better.
Yo, that's bars. It's not. Don't throw a pick in the fourth quarter of this one game, or
I don't think more like touchdown. or get the interception. I used to play cornerback. Too.
Oh, I thought you said quarterback.
I said quarterback. I played both.
You played both.
Yeah.
Man, let everybody know where to find you.
Yeah. My last game, I think I had an interception, a touchdown pass, and a touchdown run.
You really play both sides. That's crazy. But yeah, let everybody know where to find you, man.
I am on Instagram at Mr. King JD. That's MRKING I'm also on Instagram at James Drakeford, JamesDrakeford. Streetwear Flea, STREETWEARFLEA. What else? That's enough for now. Yeah.
Yeah, make sure you tap into Streetwear Flea whenever you see it pop up. When's the next one? Next year?
The next like full Streetwear Flea, maybe in the fall, but probably next year. But look out for an event within the next 2 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And you know where to find me, Who is Haas on all social medias. But I'm gonna pass it on to myself to give the Patreon shout outs and to plug the Patreon.
If you've made it to the end of this episode, really appreciate you. And if you are a Patreon subscriber, you know we got to do them Patreon shout outs at the end of this week's episode. So first shout out goes to Ross Adam. Second shout out goes to Adam Newstetter. Always tell everybody he started that ball rolling on Patreon. Then we have Fresh Poetic Derek. Thank you for still subscribing. And Jesse, Just CG, and of course Adam Butler. Now, if you are interested in becoming a patron, becoming a patron, hit up patreon.com/myfirstkicks. I got tiers on there, like I said earlier in the episode, 2 tiers. But to expound on this a little bit longer, I got a special episode coming with me, Aaron, and Andy, AD Sneaks, just strictly on Patreon, that will talk about our time at Portland, where we went to go see the Nike campus. We went to go see Adidas campus. We'll talk a little bit about the cool stuff that we got to see, our time in Portland, some of the food that we ate. Like, we took an Airbnb. So we have lots of stories. And if you are interested in hearing our journey, in a couple of weeks, I will be putting that only on Patreon. I'll probably put like a 15-minute like sample that people on YouTube can check out on YouTube and on, Apple and Spotify can check out, because I got to give them a little taste. But if you are, I got to give y'all a little taste. I got to get y'all to subscribe to the Patreon, right? So if you are really interested in that, you want to get ahead of that, you don't want to miss that episode when it drops, patreon.com/myfirstkicks. And if you haven't yet and you're here, please make sure to hit the subscribe button that you see on this page, or watch one of these other 2 episodes that you may be interested in. But don't forget, wear your kicks. Peace.